From 21 Sports, this is Penguin Gameday, driven by Greenwood Chevrolet, Austintown.
Penguin Gameday starts now.
Hi everybody, another edition of Penguin Gameday as we come to you from Penguin City here in downtown Youngstown. Happy to be joined by the head coach of the Penguins, Doug Phillips, whose team is coming off a 40-35 victory over Illinois State. Coach, you're sitting at 1-2 in the conference, 4-3, and that long road trip is over.
That long road trip, and we've learned from those road trips. And I think that's the one thing I wanted to see is how would our kids respond. And I loved how they responded. Learn from it, trust your training, trust your preparation, and trust your brothers that you're playing around. And in a game, you can't flinch. And there's going to be good things that happen in a game. There's going to be some bad things. And, our kids didn't flinch. They played 4 quarters. They played for each other. And we knew we had to find a way to win a football game.
Do you feel it was your best performance overall so far?
You watch film and there's always areas you can improve upon, but being on the road and winning in the Missouri Valley, anytime you can win against a ranked team in the Missouri Valley, you played good football.
Coach, ups and downs of this game. You're down, you don't score a couple of touchdowns when you're in the red zone. I mean, this was an up and down game.
It was, and every game is like that. And I could tell at halftime, our young men, they looked focused. They knew they had a job to do. Started the second half, they got a big kickoff return. They score on the first play. And again, proud of our young men for not flinching and fighting their way back and finding a way to get stops when we needed stops and getting 21 points in the fourth quarter.
And is there magic words at halftime, or is it just, hey, stick to what we've been doing?
Yeah, there's no magic words. One of our, Dathan Hickey, one of our captains said, hey guys, Illinois State, wants this win. We need this win. And we knew going on the road, we dug a hole for ourselves, losing 2 games, that we needed to get this win, and we needed to find a way to come away from Normal, Illinois with a victory. Our young men did that.
Did your kids grow up in this game?
Oh, definitely. Comparable, let's say, to the Towson game. And we talked about that, on Monday when we met as a team. Just the growth of this team and them having trust in one another and playing for each other. That's the number one thing. And now we go on another stretch. And now can we find consistency? Can we improve in the red zone offense early in the game? Our special teams, they beat us in the special teams, and we're going to continue to emphasize that and find a way to get better.
The good thing is you're back at Stambaugh Stadium for the first time in, I know it's 3 weeks, but it seems like 3 months.
We've been here one time in 7 weeks, so we haven't been at, and we got to come with the energy knowing that we're playing at home. And, we've had 1 game here in the last 7 weeks, and this is game 2. In Stambaugh, in the Ice Castle, and we got to bring some great energy this coming Saturday.
Coach, I would be remiss if I didn't mention Bo Bungard, the FCS National Player of the Year, 30 carries, over 500 yards of total offense.
Unbelievable. Not many quarterbacks in the game of college football. I think there's been 3, and Bo's the 4th, with names like Jaden Daniels, Malik Cunningham. So, to be able to do that, and it starts with his preparation. The one thing we talked about Monday, don't focus on the result. Focus on the process of what gave us the result. And definitely Bo's come from his preparation.
And obviously the O-line has a big part of that too.
They did a great job. He didn't get sacked 1 time, picking up blitzes. O-line really came through.
Well, Coach, congratulations on the victory, and you have to turn the page, and I know you guys have done that. Well, a little bit later, we'll talk about Murray State, this week's opponent, but coming up next, we'll talk with Dane Hodge from the YSU defense when Penguin Gameday continues.